So we actually have a variety of programs for the Esports Association. One is career readiness. So we actually work with the Career Center here to better prepare our association members to learn those life skills that they are going to need so that when they make that transition over to a career pathway.
Awesome, awesome. This guy, we gotta turn around. This guy wins almost every tournament we throw. I'm telling you. You gotta watch him live. He's gonna be something big.
CSUDH Esports Association is centered in 4 domains: academics and research, community engagement, competition, and entertainment.
We're trying to make sure that the students are prepared for the future, that they understand the diversity that media offers now, and again, look beyond the traditional outlets.
They can gain fieldwork, partnerships, as well as potential job opportunities and in both the higher education and K-12 fields.
We believe that esports is a strategy and not an outcome. Our association is here to help anyone that is willing to learn how to take your gaming skills to the next level through a supporting community. If you are looking to showcase your production talents to help support our esports teams, then this is the association for you. We host online and on-site tournaments that will allow our members to showcase their competitive spirit. Our association broadcasts out our competition and practices to entertain our community as well as our global audience. We believe that by joining us, you will come out of the association feeling transformed and better prepared to transfer your skills into your career. Join today and begin to explore endless opportunities through our Esports Association here at Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Welcome everyone to another esports talk session. We have a very special guest with us today that I'm excited to introduce. But before I do any of that, just a quick announcement, and that is we want to thank you, the viewers, everybody that has supported us in the past and continue to support us to this day. Without you, we can't do any of it, so we're grateful for you. And we have various social media outlets that you can also find to also support us in. Please leave a like, follow, feedback, all of that. We thrive in it. So thank you. Okay, without any further ado, we have a special guest, and today's topic is a special edition, which is the EGN Esports Edition. And with us today, we have João Jeronimo, COO of EGN Esports. Welcome.
Hello, Ruben. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. And for the sake of it, João, you're okay if I call you John?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Wonderful. Well, thank you for coming on, and we're excited to have you. We definitely want to learn a lot from your experience in esports, and also dive in a little deeper too of how you got yourself started into this space. So if I may ask, when did you start your passion in pursuing esports as a profession?
Esports began when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching LCS, CSGO tournaments. I fell in love with CSGO in that time. When I went to college, I started to search more about it. I went to a community doing moderation. A few years later, in 2018, in the beginnings, I started a project with a few members for a new organization of esports. I was the last one to leave. They left in the stages.
Yep.
So I was without anyone left, just the investor, and I was not capable to do it alone. In a past few months, I talked to a friend of mine, which was on EGN at the time, as manager or PUBG manager. It was Rui Martins.
Okay.
His nickname is Phil.
Okay. Very cool.
So I talked to him, and he arranged me a meeting with Peteros, okay, our CEO,
Okay.
and we start to get along. He invite me to a meeting with a new team, Fortnite team. Uh,
Mhm.
I started as a Fortnite manager. I
Okay.
did some social media manager as well. They didn't have one. They have were struggling a bit in that time, and I helped keep the brand in a good place
Mm.
in terms of the market. And here I am today, talking to you.
Cool.
This was
Yeah.
always how things were happening in 2018.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Wow. So I'm hearing your journey as you unpack it for us, and thank you for sharing. So high school was really a big interest for you because you were able to watch like the LCS tournaments. And is it something that you had passions in playing yourself and participating, like as a gamer, or was it another aspect that drew you in?
Now, as a gamer, I love see other professionals playing and getting better.
Ah, very good. And in high school, did you have like an esports organization, association of some sort?
No, no, no.
No? Okay.
In Portugal, we don't have. In high school, don't have esports organizations,
Okay.
associations.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And thank you for sharing that too, that you are, started this in Portugal and currently in Portugal now, knowing there's a lot of differences there. So, but there are other clubs and activities that students do. Just esports isn't one of them currently.
Yes,
Okay,
true.
got it.
In college, there are some college that make small tournaments. It's a universal. I think it's universal. Normally is for LOL only, League of Legends. Uh,
Gotcha.
uh, it's in Europe. They'll call in Europe. No, the role is starting in this year was in Europe only because of the coronavirus.
Right, right.
All college beat each other. In Portugal, the best one goes to a competition
Mm.
in Europe this year. Normally, it goes. Last year was in Shanghai, I think,
Oh wow.
in the world.
Mhm.
Um, and they in Portugal, Portuguese team will make it last year.
Mhm.
This year I don't know, but last year they make it to third.
Wow, that's amazing. So the team in itself, like even just share with us a little bit more. Like again, you enter college and then you find more people that are very into the space that you like, which is the interest of pursuing esports in a professional and moving it into a competitive way. Did you notice how esports helped you in some ways outside of esports, meaning like in your studies and things of that nature? Was that something you were able to carry, perhaps in the concentration that you were studying?
Sports helped me a bit about understanding the world.
Mm,
How can we change the world? How can we manage some short things, small things that can make everything possible?
wow.
Uh,
Oh, that's very big. Yeah.
the
And just to add to that, John, so was there a particular moment that you had that feeling of, yes, esports is allowing me to see the world in a different way? Was it through the means of competition, or was it other like-minded people but responding from different parts of the world that has opened your eyes? What was it that gave you that understanding or that feeling?
I have the feeling all the meetings I have with the people around the world,
Okay.
because sport is changing every day. You need to be prepared, and it's grateful to meet other people, to know their culture. And this sport culture is basically the same in any country.
Mm,
They can connect each other easily.
Very cool. Yeah, it's so great to hear that in your perspective and your journey. That especially when you're a college student, right? When you're getting yourself, new and transitioning, and really that's the time really to kind of branch out, and you get to a point where you have this interest already genuine from your days in high school, and then be able to see how big it is, and connect with other people that are in those spaces, and then realize a lot of similarities in even the culture aspect of it, which again makes you feel even more connected once you see, oh my gosh, there's so many people out there with the same interest and want to pursue the dream just like myself, referring to your dream. Very cool. And John, if you don't mind, like in your college days, what is it that you were studying?
I was studying computer science.
Computer science. Very, very good. Very good. And so, how did your studies in computer science help translate to the skills that you have shown and till this day have embellished more in your esports organization?
Um, I think the our computer science degree changes the way you think.
Mm,
Uh, they format you to think, to resolve the problems in a
mm.
certain way, methodological way, and it can be more organizable and easier to understand the problem, to find the solution, and to do the solution.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. I would definitely say it's got those major perks in translating what you're learning in computer science and how it's connected to the esports world. And yeah, problem solving is very important, and to know first of all where the problems are is even a bigger question too before even trying to solve anything.
Yes.
So very well said. I mean, yeah, I commend it. That's awesome. And so, um, in your college days, is this something that you were, again, maybe take us back a little bit, something that you were pursuing to have a team, or was it out of your college
Out of
time?
the college
Okay,
time.
got it. Got it. Okay, very neat. And so, tell us a little bit how you acquired a team, to find the talent. I'm sure, there's so many talented people out there. What really helped, or maybe walk us through that journey a little bit?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah. So you have a team or multiple teams that compete in different game titles. How did
Yes.
you form a team?
Normally, the manager forms the team
Okay.
with the help of the coach,
Okay.
and they have a certain objective to
Mhm.
get it, and they do some screams with people they think they are perfect for that spot, and they find the perfect team by doing some tries.
Very good. So scrimmaging against other competitive teams.
Yes.
So do you have to screen them, like make sure that they have a certain level
Yes, yes. You have a
of
minimum
experience?
level,
Okay.
minimum experience, and they, if they get along with the team, they stay. To get the team needs to have synergy.
Mm, right, right. And so with the team going through that, now you have a team. How do you deal with like player development? Like what is it that looks like for EGN?
Uh, they have practice,
Mm,
daily practice. They need to also practice their social media networking,
mm,
because social media is the most. I think it's the most important thing for the player
mm. Okay.
and for the coaches, because they get the visibility by the social media, not only by their game, their gameplay,
Right.
but also because they have visibility. The public wants them, and they need to practice every day
Mm,
to get some community around them.
very good. Very good. And as making that a priority, what are some of the social media best practices that you would recommend?
Uh, a video or two about talking about the game,
Mm.
um, some interactions with the public, responding some
Mm.
some
Right,
commentaries from the public.
right, right, right.
Try to get their attention.
Mm.
Doing memes. Memes is really really good for everyone.
Right. For some comedic relief,
Yes.
some kind of outlet to lessen the pressure, if you will, when things get really high intensity level.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. And as you know, just again, back when you entered the space and you've had your meeting to essentially start development of an organization that has assembled so many teams that are competitive. Tell us what it was like, for your experience, to really assemble a winning formula team. Like, what is it that you see is very critical or very important to obtain those accolades, those benchmarks of winning tournaments? Oh, sorry, Geronimo. I think you got muted. Let's see here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think I forgot completely what you say.
That's
Sorry.
okay. Yes, I was going to say
Okay.
that I
It
will.
was
I'm happy to repeat
anticlimactic and
it. That's okay. um, so given that you're entering the space, you're now into the competitive space, into the professional field. Um, Share with us, aside from the players, what other roles were very important to establish a winning team, if you will, a winning organization.
I think they need to get along. The team needs to be together as a family.
Mm,
They need to swim to one side only.
okay.
The coach needs to manage the path, and they need to follow the path.
Mm,
Um, I think it's all about the players, not about the organization in that
right.
way.
I
It's
see.
all about the team.
God.
The organization is a way they express their gameplay, their synergy
Mhm.
in the game.
Very good. No, that's right. And then share with us what other roles came out of it. Like what other uh, jobs, if you will, came out of assembling the organization's team.
Uh, there are the team or the organization. A team only,
Uh,
one team.
well,
Is-
if share with us the organization.
Okay, there are some people on the social media communication departments.
Okay.
We have social media sorry communication department
Hmm.
is Cristina Chavez.
Very cool. Hmm.
Uh, some marketing marketing department. I'm on the department with along Vera
Hmm.
Magno. I'm also with our CEO trying to get optimized process um, on the organization, how people talk, how the the feeling how do people work.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Uh, there are some in the team. There are managers in one team normally, depending on the sport.
Mhm.
Coaches uh, depends on if it's League of Legends. They have strategic coaches, mental coaches,
Mm.
coaches for small things,
Th-
small
th-
particles of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, mental coaches are very important
Mm.
because it's stressful to play in a professional level. Players need to talk, express their feelings, to be relaxed,
Right. Right.
more relaxed. You want to interrupt me?
Yeah, no, and John, I wanted to, just quickly ask because that's such a good observation you just mentioned. To have you know, all sorts of coaches for different particles of the game, right?
Yes.
It's so true how you put it. And then mental coaches. So, when did you notice that was something that needed to be implemented, like to be added as a coach? Like, what was it? Was it already included, or was it something that your organization thought maybe we need to look for a mental coach to help the team?
I think it was a natural
Natural.
procedure.
Okay,
Was
got it.
natural. We we have one mental coach in the organization. He
Mhm.
started as a TFT manager, uh, and he got along with us, and he started to mentor the teams, because he don't work with only one team. The mental needs to work with a lot of people.
Right, right.
Um, that was the procedure.
Very cool. Very cool. So it was already included into the package of the organization that wanted to provide that service to their players. And have you noticed much of a an improvement since acquiring a mental coach and other coaches that you mentioned as well, that has helped the players in the space when they go into competition mode?
Uh, it helps always, but
Mm,
I think the major are the players. The keys are the players, and the
mhm,
players need to they need to be, they need to want to be helped.
mhm, mhm. Got it.
If they
Right,
don't want, so they okay, I'm not working.
right, right. Yeah, it is a two-way, right? You
Yes,
need to be
to
willing
want,
to be helped or
yeah.
coached. Yeah, it makes total sense. Now, from that experience, for those who are in the space, have you, I'm sorry, the organization, make that a requirement, or is that something that you make this service available and accessible? But
Yeah, it's
again, it's
available. If they want, they want. If they
got it.
don't, they don't.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Um, and so, explain to us a little bit about, esports in Portugal. How many professional teams are there currently?
Um, there are, I would say, 20 teams.
Okay.
In those 20, 10 are registered brands.
Okay.
In those 10, there are three, two or three companies
Mm,
that owns the brand. The others are uh, organizations without profit.
okay. Got it. Got it. And have you noticed, anything, in a movement of adding, let's say, adding like a national team together, putting, let's say, the best players from these 20 competitive space teams and putting a
Um,
team that represents the country,
there
if you
were
will?
uh, there were some some competitions in 2020 that were
Mhm.
about CS:GO,
Okay.
and there were some national teams playing tournaments together, but
Mhm.
he has not. Nowadays, I think Riot doesn't want to get some national teams. It's not profitable
Mm,
uh, in terms of League of Legends. In terms of CS:GO, the players they need to be focused on their tournaments, not by their nations. So
got it. Got it. So,
it's
so
a commercial problem, not, and I think in a few years, do not gonna happen. It's not gonna
gotcha.
happen.
Gotcha. So that's okay. And good points, right? It's just not at that state or level yet. And players from all over the world are combining efforts to represent the team, which which makes it very entertaining to see players from different parts to be assembled as a unit. Um, Now, with that being said, share with us a little bit about what is it that you do in particular in your role with EGN.
Um, in my role, I try to optimize all the process of
Mm,
teams of
mhm,
the work we done. Do have done. I also talk to possible partners to to view how can we work together, how can you sponsorship programs,
Mm,
and work by networking. I also do a lot of networking. It's important in the esports
mm.
industry. If the people that are watching can start it right away, networking is I think this is the key for esports industry. They need to get the visibility, talking to other people, get other knowledge of other cultures, and it's all information they need for the industry.
Well said. Well said. And it feels very like you get that initial feeling when you jump in because you see how many connections are happening on a daily basis in esports. But it's so true in other aspects too. It doesn't necessarily have to pertain in esports. It could be in other aspects. The
Yes,
importance
of
of
course.
networking, right? And but I like what you said there about visibility. You can't talk to many people if you're not visible
Yes.
or make yourself visible. And and again, it could be very, for some comfortable, for some others not so comfortable, but allowing yourself to be part of something, whether you're a player or not, um, you're still part of that organization or entity that makes you visible into the space for other people to dialogue with. Gosh, good point. Good point. And thank you for sharing that. And so, um, yeah, EGN, I got to ask, what is uh, the definition behind it, if you will, or what does EGN stand for?
Electronic generation.
Oh, so repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
Uh, Electronic generation.
Oh, electronic generation is what I heard.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. How cool is that? And was there maybe there's a story behind it all? Is there one why that
Uh,
name came about?
if there is, I don't know. I there was a rebranding to EGN, so
Very honest and transparent of you, so appreciate that. It just sounds cool to me,
yeah,
electronic generation. It's really, you're right, it's a gen that has been exposed to um a world that won't ever know what it was like before the internet.
yeah,
you know and how games got disrupted when it met the internet as well too, so it's expanded to what it is today. How cool. So and then John, share with us too a little bit about like what particular game titles do you play yourself when you have some downtime?
I play normally with friends. I play Rocket League, League of Legends, CS:GO. But in in normally I play without friends. I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Mm,
the new game
the
that
new one.
Ubisoft launched.
Very cool, very cool. So you've got your dabbling of games. You have your team based games, and then you have the solo ones that you do
Yes,
on your time. How cool. Yeah, and there's tons of great ones that are being released, and this is the time, right, to catch up on some good gaming, especially with quarantine times
yeah,
going
yes,
on.
of course.
So it's how we're keeping ourselves sane, I guess, from outside of looking into the four walls. But but anyways, no, that's really cool, really cool game titles that you just mentioned. And so do you, maybe the organization, do you guys get a chance to play with some of the team members that you guys have representing the organization?
Uh, I I normally don't play with the teams
Okay.
because I have my group of friends, and normally I
Okay.
play with them.
Got it. So what you're saying is you don't want to be in a position where like they're not, you're not much of a challenge, or maybe they're not ready for the challenge. Uh, it could go either way.
They're pretty good, and I'm not
I
good
was gonna
enough.
say, if they're competing, against teams around the world and doing really well, and I guess that's another question I should ask. some bragging points. What accomplishments have the EGN team have accomplished so far?
So first of all, we managed to train the first Portuguese to make it to Worlds. It was Minitur Pax at the time, now Attila.
Okay.
In terms of League of Legends, we farm it.
Mm.
In terms of League of Legends, we this year we make it to the first place at the regional series.
Okay. Very cool.
We won 4 of 5 titles this year.
Wow. Wow. That's a big accomplishment. And if you don't mind sharing with us, what are some of the game titles out there that you guys are competing?
We are competing in League of Legends, Brawl Stars,
Okay.
FIFA,
Okay.
and Clash Royale. No,
Okay. Got it.
not Clash of Clans.
Okay. Right. Oh my goodness. And so did those teams, if you don't mind, what was your first team, if you will, that started it off for EGN?
League of Legends team.
Okay. League. Got it.
They
And
started with the academies, forming players.
oh, wow. Okay.
And League of Legends was always the first major team we have.
Right. No, right on. And as League of Legends, because it's held up so much over time, has the team changed since then? Like different players, different coaches, things of that nature. And how do you deal with those transitions? Like what is that process look like so that the team and the organization doesn't skip a beat?
Can you reformulate your question,
Yeah.
please?
No problem. So I'm sure because the organization has had League of Legends as being one of the first and the oldest game title. I'm sure you've had some turnaround in players, like different players come in.
Yes.
How did you guys deal with that?
Normally we define objectives for the next year.
Okay.
So League of Legends the season is maybe January, February to
Okay.
November. So we establish the objectives first, and depending of the objective is third place, top 3, top 1. We get a manager. We have a manager. They choose the best coach, the people, the players that are willing to fill that positions. Normally top, jungle, mid, bot lane,
Right.
and support. And normally is the changes you like to have a core of 3 persons normally because they are depending of that 3 persons we change 1 player or 2 players depending what the teams wants, the fragilities of the team.
Got it. So from what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, so there is a substitution pool that you have in case a player needs to be subbed out, if a need base. Yeah, exactly, as need basis. And then if the team is wanting this, then an acquiring of another player happens. But again, you guys are certain to make sure that the chemistry works first, because that is what is ultimately key to acquiring new players. Okay. Got it. Okay. Very, very neat process. And so that allows you to not really skip, like feel, okay, if we lost somebody, we have to replace that person. We don't drop in our competitive standings so that we stay performing at a high level. Okay.
One of those tournaments this year, we didn't win. We changed 2 players a month before the tournament, so the chemistry was not there yet, and we lost that tournament for it. We got 2nd place, but in the next tournament we won again because the team has the chemistry, has the practice.
Right.
So was easier.
Gotcha. Yeah, a transition like that, I can imagine, and like how you guys keep yourself, in the top, if you will, and having to navigate things that just happen organically, like, you know, subbing or changing,
Yes.
and then still being able to transition to do it in a way where it doesn't cause so much disruption where you're off now your competitive edge. And that's another aspect of it. But it sounds like there's a lot of like support systems that you guys have built into the organization, that the resources are there. Have you noticed the players utilizing the resources, like the coaches you mentioned?
Yes, of course, they have a head coach that works always with them. Uh,
Cool.
does the how you say it? Normally choose the champions in the champion selects, and they choose the strategy of the game.
Mm.
The players need to follow normally.
And based off your experience, now is EGN the first and only esports organization that you've worked in, or has there been
It's the
other?
first, yeah,
First
it's
one,
the
okay.
first one.
And I'm sure you've talked to other organizations from around the world. Is this something that's pretty normal to experience, or is it something that EGN is doing that is outside of that?
It's normal. It's normal.
Normal? Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, um, if anyone is interested in pursuing a professional track into esports, yes, there's many pathways to take. One in particular, which is even the job you just mentioned, and being the CEO and what it is that you're doing, and some of the coordinating community outreaches that gets typically, hand in hand with esports. Um, a player has to focus a lot on their social media aspect and look good, so that essentially they're not associated with something that's going to cause, another look. How
Yes.
does one get called into, into a tryout? Is it just rankings alone, or is it something else that the organization is looking for?
Normally, some players send messages to social media because they want tryouts.
Got it.
Uh, if it's the season of tryouts, we we talk to them if they have the minimum requirements, and they are selected. If normally the manager has some ideas of some of the players they want by
Mm,
searching, the there are some pools,
mm,
some sheets on Google that someone from other communities
mhm,
they share with us, with the public, and
mhm,
the manager normally goes go in there to search for the position they want, and
mm.
they call the guy, the guy or the woman,
Oh yeah,
depends.
whichever. Yep. Yeah.
In esports, it's we don't
Yeah. Either way. Right.
either way. And the tryout seasons began, and
Mhm.
the best ones that have more chemistry stays.
Got it. Okay, good to know the process, and thank you for walking us through that, because I know, although it seems very simple enough to say, I know that takes a lot of hard work to even go through, because it's a recruitment phase. It's the recruitment
Yes.
time. And there's so many people asking, and I was just going to ask too, when it's open tryouts, what has been the highest volume you've received?
We don't receive much because some
Hmm.
people because normally people know they are good enough, don't have
Oh, I
the
see. I see.
minimum values. Normally it's just players of other regions that talk to us because we have the visibility
Yeah.
on Europe, and they want to try out, and we began the procedure for it.
Got it. So, how do you? And I'm assuming this, and please share. Have there been players from EGN that have transferred to, let's say, another professional team? Maybe not in the same country, but another team.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We form a lot of players, and one of them was Mini Turpox, as I previously said, um, that is now in Vodafone Giants.
Mm.
He was before in Vitality, in Team Vitality,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
went to Worlds in 2018.
Oh, right, right. Okay, very cool, very cool. And so then, having to see, a player go to another organization, how does that, you know, that kind of connection work? Is it just through a means of a contract of some sort that helps the team understand like this is your timetable, or is it just
Normally, there is a contract with a player,
uh,
and if he's in the time of the contract, the team talks to us, and we we start to negotiate the transfer.
mm,
If he's not, the if he's free, normally in the end of the year they are always free,
got
and
it,
they start to looking for new opportunities,
mhm,
and normally they get it,
got it,
because normally Portugal is former a country to form players, not to have them.
got it. I understand. And so, and thank you for sharing that, John, because in that process of sharing, it also from the front office work, which is what you're in, um, there is a season to be followed, and so you understand that. Okay, end of the year is typically when contracts become ready to
Expired.
negotiate and be renewed. So this is very open
Yes.
season for you guys. So as we prepare for 2021, the team that it is today may look different. Um,
True.
and seeing with that, development. And again, it's you have this talent pool that you're acquiring, but you're really providing that platform for others to go to pursue a new opportunity and seek forth. And I'm sure they're grateful for EGN, for the developmental organization system that you guys have developed there. Um, so I'm sure you get people coming back saying, I miss my time, or
Yeah.
enjoy the people, of course, and you're connected, and maybe even entering the same tournaments that now you're just looking, in a different side of things because you're competing against one another. Um, so, anything really, I mean, that you want to share that is looking forward to, 2021 that you're excited about?
Epá, 2021 is a mystery. Is mysteries.
It's too early to tell.
Yeah, it's too early
We're
to tell.
we're still trying to finish this year,
Yes.
and survive this year, and just think about 2021 when it gets here. Um, no, I hear you. I hear you. Any new game titles that a team perhaps is going to be formed under?
We are because Valorant is a game that is coming up. We
Right.
are trying to see how our company can bet invest in Valorant.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So you heard it, everyone that is pursuing Valorant. EGN is definitely looking for some good people out there. So very neat. And so I have to ask, as you're communicating and also working in this space where players are constantly connected. Um, have you what have you noticed that has been a very key to the success of EGN in the side of communication, or these skills that are being highlighted so much, that are being attributed to the game?
I didn't understand. Can you
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll repeat it again. Yes.
Yeah.
So what skills would you say have been very, very key to to the success of EGN when it comes to the competitive play?
I think it is the people.
The people. People.
The people.
Okay.
It's all about the people, not about the brand.
Mm,
We our symbol is a bee because
mm,
it's we are a hive, and we work together for an object.
Mm.
So it's always
Eh,
work together and reach the best of us
Excellent,
as
excellent.
individual, as a community.
And I wanted to ask too, like the goals that you guys are setting, are these goals something that you guys address in the very beginning? And if so, despite saying, hey, we want to be the best here, knowing that that is going to be a constant, what other goals that you guys attribute to getting to that top?
Normally, we get some stages, objects by stages, and step by step we go to the best goal. It's to win. Normally in Portugal, we want to expand to Europe as well.
Mhm.
In your masters, it's a bill. Uh, Portugal is not the best country to compete in your masters.
Mm,
The other leagues are better, simply
mm,
better than Portugal. They have other investments,
mm,
and we are trying to get to the final stage, the knockout stage of your masters, and it's hard to us for us.
got it, got it. No, and it's good to know. Good to know what other opportunities are out there, what other teams are doing, and where the organization is at, and how they're thriving despite some of the constraints that present itself. Very cool. So now, John, I'm going to ask you. This is because we are close to that time for some words of wisdom that you can share with our community. What is something that you would like to share to everyone listening?
So sports is not. I think people misunderstood. Sport is not only about sports. It's major about marketing, communication, visibility.
Mm,
Because we are in the digital, the content is that matter. Is what matters. The
mm,
content, the visibility of brands that work with you, the feeling of the community united to the same objective, cheering the team, cheering the players.
mm,
Normally, it's not only the about sports because esports is a digital sport,
mhm,
but the most important thing on esports it's the marketing part.
mm. Gosh, well said. Well said. I hear you, and I totally respect the amazing work and accomplishments you guys are doing. In EGN, and really it's leading so much attention. And like what you said earlier, the visibility is super important. That's how you get yourself in that position that you can talk to other people. Um, that's well shared. John, I can't thank you enough for coming, for connecting with us all the way out in Portugal, to share with us some really good information and what it is that your journey looks like, or looked like, and looks like now, um, to get you to the space that you're in, and how you're pursuing your dreams and passions, and how you're helping the community grow through EGN. Um, so this has been great. John, I appreciate you. Best of luck for EGN. We'll be sure to follow for sure all the success that's going on, and the excitement that the new year is going to bring for the
Yes.
organization. And we'll definitely have to have you back for a future talk so that we can see how things are going. And yeah, we look forward to another moment with you and the organization. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invite,
Yeah,
and good luck for your project and for the
yeah,
students.
for sure, for
Uh,
sure.
Working in small things like communities, uh, trying to s- trying to get the knowledge and the work in esports. It's not easy.
Hmm.
They they need specific people, and we need always passion. We work hard and a lot. It's
Yeah.
one of those things, especially in events.
Oh yeah.
People
Yeah.
work a lot because it's always changing. We don't have something prepared. We need to need to work this, add some solutions. And we need to be prepared for anything. Anything can happen. You are in the digital.
Mhm.
Uh, it changes for one day to another in instance.
Easily. Oh gosh, I feel you on that. Absolutely. It is a constant, and it feels like it's constantly moving. And we have to stay on top of it as much as possible. But you're right. There's so many good people out there, and just given the opportunity, they'll over exceed the standard to ensure that something like this stays and grows ultimately. But again, once again, I want to thank everybody too for tuning in. And again, EGN, you heard it from Joao himself, EGN CEO, who just joined us right now. And yeah, we'll be sure to catch you on the next esports talk session. For now, take care and be safe. Bye bye, everybody.